Photography is a medium we often associate with capturing reality as it is, raw, untouched, and clear. But at the turn of the 20th century, a movement emerged that aimed to turn photography into something more painterly, emotional, and artistic. This movement is known as Pictorialism. Let's step back in time to the late 1800s, when photography was still in its infancy, and many viewed it simply as a scientific tool for documenting reality. However, some early photographers wanted to challenge that notion. They believed photography could be more than just a mechanical process. It could express emotions, tell stories, and even rival the aesthetic beauty of painting. Thus, pictorialism was born. Pictorialism is about interpretation. The goal was not to record reality, but to create images that evoked emotion and imagination. Pictorialists often used soft focus, elaborate printing techniques, and atmospheric effects to make their photographs resemble paintings. Pictorialists would often intentionally manipulate what would otherwise be a straightforward photograph. They used a variety of techniques to achieve their painterly effects. One widely used technique in pictorialism was soft focus, which gently blurred the edges of the subject to evoke a dreamlike atmosphere. Photographers also manipulated the darkroom development process, allowing them to control the texture, tone, and contrast of the image more precisely. Additionally, pictorialists would alter the final print by incorporating visible brushstrokes or surface textures, and they often scratched into the negative or the image itself. For them, photography was more than a means of documentation. It was a tool for conveying emotion and engaging the viewer's imagination. Alfred Stieglitz, an influential American photographer, was instrumental in shaping both photography and art during this time. Throughout his career, he not only made significant contributions to photography, but also ran New York art galleries, where he introduced many European artists to the United States. Like other pictorialist photographers, his work shows careful attention to lighting and composition. His approach aligns with the pictorialist style, where the emphasis on mood and atmosphere transcends mere documentation, transforming the photograph into a work of art that invites deeper emotional engagement. Another famous photographer of this movement was Alfred Stieglitz. Stieglitz was a master of blending painting techniques with his photography. His photos tend to be serene, moody, and deeply atmospheric, everything the pictorialist movement stood for. Stieglitz frequently had his work featured in Stieglitz's famous magazine, Camera Work. The two later collaborated to open the little galleries of the Photo Secession, which became known as 291 after its address. Clarence H. White was a pictorialist who is known for his poetic and quiet depictions of everyday life. White was a master of using light to create soft, luminous images that seem to glow from within. His use of soft light filtering across his photos gives his images a serene, almost mystical feel. White was less concerned with technical precision and more focused on the mood and story his photographs conveyed. Gertrude Kasebier was one of the most prominent female photographers of her time and was known for her intimate portraits, particularly of women and children. Her use of soft focus, warm light, and delicate composition highlighted her ability to create deeply emotional and symbolic photographs. She often portrayed motherhood and femininity with a tenderness that resonated with viewers, making her a key figure in the pictorialist movement. Though the pictorialist movement began to decline in the 1910s with the rise of more modernism and sharp-focused photography, its influence is still felt today. The idea that photography is not just about capturing reality, but also about creating art, has carried forward into everything from fine art photography to modern-day Photoshop manipulation. Pictorialists proved that photography was not just a scientific tool, but a medium for artistic expression. They helped elevate it to an art form, and for that, the Pictorialist movement will always be remembered.